Hey everybody, I'm Lynette Ray.
And I am Michael Ray.
And as we've been on Facebook and looking at different comments people make on social media, we're finding that there's a lot of questions people have about
Anxiety.
both anxiety for stroke survivors and also anxiety for caregivers. And it makes sense because a stroke is a life-changing event. Changes life in so many ways. It can change responsibilities, it changes relationships, it changes work and finances. There's personality and mood changes. And so we want to talk a little bit about anxiety and how to handle those things and what can help. So first we'd like to share a couple of experiences. Recently we went to California. And Mike, do you drive?
Yes, I do.
How long have you been driving?
3 years.
Yeah, quite a while. 4 or 5 years. 5 years you've been driving. Well, time passes, doesn't it?
Ooh, it does.
Were you a good driver when you first started driving after your stroke?
No.
Yeah, not so much. It was kind of scary. A lot of anxiety on my part. Yeah. Anyways, but he became a very good driver. Just took some practice and some relearning. But recently we went to California for a family reunion. And so Mike was driving in an unfamiliar place on unfamiliar roads. And how was that for you?
It was not good.
Not good. Why?
Because I couldn't do what I could as far as doing myself.
Doing it yourself, like driving and navigating the roads?
Yes.
Yeah. So we had Google Maps on, right? Because I didn't know where I was going either. And that made so much stress and anxiety for Mike. And so your driving was kind of what?
Chaotic.
Yeah, kind of chaotic, kind of crazy. And I remember we pulled up to the house where we were staying, and I remember saying, we got to get you on some anxiety medicine or something because this is bad. And there are times and there are reasons to have anxiety medicine. And in this case, I was really thinking we might need to do something like that because Mike hadn't had this much stress in quite a while. Anyways, so what I realized though, as we thought about it, was that if Mike had been able to see the map, if we had it up in the car so he could see where he was going instead of just listening. Every stroke affects brains differently, but for Mike, his visual is much stronger than his
auditory.
Right. Visual is much stronger than his auditory. So just listening to those directions and being in an unfamiliar place caused a lot of anxiety. So just being aware of where your strengths are and also where your
weaknesses are
can really help in those situations that can cause a lot of anxiety. And especially when you're behind the wheel, you need to always be
driving
safely. Driving safely, right? And so if you're feeling uncertain or whatever, it's always better to pull over,
That's true.
than to keep going. But when you're feeling anxious, you don't
do that.
Yeah, you don't necessarily think about it. So it's working together and being patient with each other.
Yeah.
Right?
You're correct.
And so that was one thing that we learned this week, was just to really focus on strengths and to make sure you're using those strengths in those critical, especially when it's a new situation. Any new situation can really cause
anxiety.
Yeah, when we've traveled for the first time,
yep,
you have felt
anxious.
Yeah, and so have I, right? Because we're doing it in a new way. We're doing it post-stroke. Everything's different than it was before. So paying attention to that and giving yourself time and space. Does that help?
Yes.
When you're not rushed?
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
You have time to stop and think. And what else do you do to calm yourself down? Laugh. You do.
Laugh.
You have an amazing laugh. And that helps calm us both down. But sometimes it's taking a deep breath. Find those things that work for you. Also, just from a caregiver perspective on anxiety, I remember about a year after Mike's stroke, things had been going okay. He was getting better. We were finding that new balance. And then we lost our family business, lost Mike's business. And so all of a sudden we had no income. And there was huge, huge anxiety for me. Was I working at the time?
No, it was just...
I was home, right? I'd been home for about 20 years, caring for raising our family. I had a college degree. And then I was home caring for...
me.
Yeah, because after stroke, there's a lot of things to relearn. So I remember waking up in the night just with that white knuckle grip on the sheets and unable to, just in a total panic of what are we going to do and how is this going to work out. And I think the thing that helped me the most was as I laid there, instead of trying to make the anxiety go away or trying to solve the problem at the time, because I couldn't think clearly, what I needed to do was just lay there and say, this isn't going to last forever. It's not going to feel like this forever. And as I told myself that, I was able to just lay there and kind of make my way through those periods of anxiety until I could, get some help and get some support and things. So super important for support for the person who is a caregiver and for a survivor.
Yep.
We both need that support in dealing with anxiety. And sometimes it is important to get professional help.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
And there's a lot of resources for that. One place that you can look is the National Stroke Association. Their website gives some great information about resources in helping with anxiety and mood changes and those kinds of things. So what would you say to everybody, Mike?
Oh.
I'm putting you on the spot. Should they give up?
Never give up.
Why?
Because it will work for you as well.
It'll work out?
Yes, it will.
Fast?
No, it won't.
Not necessarily fast, right?
That's correct.
Not necessarily fast, but a step at a time.
Correct.
Yeah?
Every step counts.
Awesome. Have a great day.